But let's go to the side that's going to keep playing football this season. The Green Bay Packers suffer an injury to Jordan Love, looked to be an elbow, maybe some nerve stuff working down his hand. So we saw some Malik Willis in this game. But just at the top of mind right now is the fact that you now have to stare down Saquon Barkley in the 2 seed. That wouldn't have changed with a win in this matchup with the Chicago Bears. Emery, when you look forward to that today, would you have liked to see more momentum? Would you have liked to see the quarterback stay in the game? What did you see from the Packers, and how does it imply what you might see moving forward?
It's going to be tough because we wanted to see them come out healthy. So now you lose potentially Jordan Love, although we don't know the severity, but he was out of this game. Then you lose Christian Watson, another weapon for you. He's out of this game. We don't know the severity. Then you also lose your backup, Malik Willis, in case he had to come in maybe as a change-up for a package or two against a team that you have to find ways to score and manufacture big plays. He got out of the game because of an injury. So they limp out of this game hurt on offense, which is going to be an issue for a team against like Philadelphia, where you're going to have to try to find a way to put up 30 points. And right now we haven't seen Green Bay play consistent football. This team this year looks a lot different than the team we saw last year down the stretch that was playing their best ball going into the postseason, and we tagged them with the vaunted team no one wants to play. Now it feels like the Green Bay Packers are a team you want to play because the offense looks a little bit out of sync outside of the run game. And the defense, we know the defense will be active, but this is a tough matchup for them, in my opinion, against Philly.
Ryan, we did see.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. We'll talk about this a lot, obviously, this week, but I wanted to get out a bunch of videos for all of these games that just happened today. That type of stuff, the Eagles defeated the Packers week 1 in Brazil. Like I've said a million times, means nothing. That really does mean nothing. But you got to face the reality. This game and how it unfolded essentially couldn't have gone worse. That's just the honest, you got to face it. Like that is the reality of how this game unfolded. Because not only did the Packers not play well, they lost to a team, the Bears, who are not a good team. And I understand it's a divisional game and the Bears want to play spoiler. Doesn't matter. The Bears are not a good team. There's no way to stretch that into a reality. They have been a dumpster fire. And all season, the Packers could just point and laugh at them. So then to lose this game, to have Jordan Love get injured, Watson get injured, like everyone's kind of banged up, and I don't know who's out for the long haul, who's going to be able to play. Like, combined playing poorly with injuries and losing and having to play the number 2 seed, the Philadelphia Eagles, who are a great team. Again, like, I know fans love to downplay other teams. Oh, the Vikings aren't that good. Oh, this team isn't that good. The Eagles aren't that good. They are. They're good teams. This is the playoffs. I think all these teams are really good, honestly. And out of all the teams that you could play going into this round, like, the Eagles are not going to be the team that you want to play. It's just they're just not. And it's not to say that they can't beat them. I'm not saying that. I'm not sounding the alarm. I'm not sitting here being like, the Packers got no chance. It's over. Better luck next year. I'm not saying that either. But, like, this is defeating. This is crushing. If this is the way, think about how you feel as a fan watching that game. You're like, what the heck just happened? Oh, my God, who's injured? Who's healthy? What's going on the road to Philly? Like, these players are feeling that too. This is a young team. We've talked about the youth being both beneficial and being a drawback. I'm on the fence right now in terms of if the youth helps them because they just have no idea and, like, kind of don't care. Or I'm kind of like, well, this is where you really need some veteran leadership to be able to be like, hey, I know things aren't perfect right now, but don't worry. We can find a way through this. So it's a tough situation. I mean, it really, really is. The best takeaway was that they were able to run the ball 183 yards, 5.5 yards per carry. But it's like, we know they can do that. But then you have the fake punt touchdown thing, however we want to call that, some trickery. Like, Caleb was comfortable the whole time. He was sacked once, 21 for 29. They were 7 for 14 on 3rd down, 1 for 1 on 4th. Compare that to the Packers. And again, it's tough because Jordan Love goes down and then you have Malik Willis. They were 3 for 10 on 3rd down, 0 for 1 on 4th. I mean, you held the Bears to 83 yards rushing and 141 passing, and yet you still lost. Like, that's a tough game to lose in the final game of the season, in a game that you were trying to win. This wasn't one of those, I guess we're playing, but it doesn't, like, really matter. No, like, you wanted to win this game. The Packers wanted to win this game. That's why everybody was out there. And so to have this happen, it's just tough. And Malik Willis played pretty good. 10 for 13, 136 yards, 10.5 yards per attempt, 109 rating. But the Packers also had 2 fumbles. Like, it's a tough one. I mean, it is. That's what I just keep saying, because there's not much more to say beyond that, at least right now. Like I said, in the videos coming on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like, we can unpack this more deeply as the team as a whole, what it looks like against the Eagles, especially once we figure out like who's playing, like who's going to be in that game. Because I by the time when I'm recording this video, I have no idea. You know, is Jordan Love going to continue to play? I think technically, Watson was carted off. I guess technically, I don't know. It's never a good sign when you're kind of like knee buckles and then you kind of get taken away. Like that's almost always something. I would be shocked if it was just something that was like going to allow him to play this week, but I don't know. You know, I really don't. It's possible, but you know, most likely unlikely. But yeah, this was a tough one, and now going up against the Eagles is obviously really not ideal. But again, the reality is that it was always going to be difficult for the Packers this season, especially because of their seeding and how they went and where they were going to have to play and how they were going to have to play on the road. And I defended that when Nick Wright was like, oh, they can't win all these games on the road and this, that. So this was always going to be difficult for the Packers. There was never an easy path for them, because being the 7th seed now, let's say they upset the Eagles, they're going to have to play the number 1 seed, which again, by the time when I'm recording this, I have no idea who the 1 seed is going to be, either the Lions or the Vikings. And again, obviously not easy games either, as the Packers know. They've lost to them both times. So like, that's tough. So, and then again, even if you win this, even if you were able to knock out the 1 and 2 seed, which is amazing, and it's hooray, like, then again, then you have the NFC Championship game also on the road again. So it's a tough situation. It is an absolute tough situation. You really wanted to see them play higher quality football going into the playoffs. They did not do that, and now they're banged up. And so now, I guess the one silver lining, because I always got to find some sort of optimism and silver lining, is that because of how this game went, it obviously was not a great win. Every single Packers player feels absolutely awful and furious, and the coaching staff feels awful and furious that it is going to heighten. It's going to be like, okay, we need to lock in. Like it's just going to be double, triple, quadruple down. Everyone's going to be so much more locked in. People are going to have to punch above their weight. They're going to have to kind of rally together. Like, there is going to be a lot of energy in that locker room. It's going to be defeated. It's definitely defeated now. There's no doubt about it. Everyone's going home tonight feeling like they're awful. And they're just like, oh my God, did the season just get away from us? And they're going to talk to their girlfriends, their wives, their kids, whatever, their parents, and they're going to be down and they are going to hate it. But the best thing is like, this moment is probably their rock bottom. And I use that very lightly, very lightly. And once you're at that bottom, the only way is to go up. So it's kind of like you kind of now do embrace this mentality of like, whatever, man, we're going all in. Let's stop with this nonsense. You know, enough of the pity party. Here we go. Let's get after it. And then, you know, and again, if Jordan Love isn't playing, like, who the heck knows? Malik Willis, he was pretty good with the Packers for the 2.5-ish games or whatever that he played. And now, you know, you're throwing in a backup quarterback that, like, who the heck knows what can happen in that situation. That can energize a team. And if Jordan Love does end up playing, then you kind of trust in Jordan Love's ability to kind of step up in the playoffs. It's just, you know, we're going to have to see how this week unfolds, honestly, and kind of see how things progress. But, yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. It's obviously not a great feeling going into the playoffs. But like I said, if you are actually this young, then some of the things that I said can actually benefit, because like I said, you're going to be miserable. You're going to be upset. You're going to be sad. But then you're going to be angry. Then you're going to have a chip on your shoulder, and everyone's going to try to punch above their weight. And then who knows? But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Green Bay Packers' loss against the Chicago Bears and kind of how they're banged up now and going into the playoffs? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.